All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome back to another Q&A video. I actually was not planning on doing one this early, but I was pretty much apologizing to my YouTube members. You guys know there's a feature on YouTube where if you pay pretty much like a Twitch sub, I think it's $4.99 a month, you know, that money goes to the content creator, at least some of it, because YouTube is they're gonna keep some of that shit. And there's still a lot of channel members that have stayed subscribed to me, even though I don't stream anymore or I don't do any of that shit. Mostly because I'm waiting for the excitement of the new NetherRealm game. You know, once that happens, I'm gonna be streaming a lot and playing with viewers, etc. But for anyone who stays subscribed as a YouTube channel member, I love you all. Well, I love everybody, but you know, it just shows a little bit extra support. And thank you. So one of them, his name is Lewis. He asked me if I was going to do a Q&A soon, and you know, I pretty much said I have no idea. But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Let's do one. Why not? Because he had a question for me. I want to answer his question here. Number one. So Lewis asks, will I be making any videos with Sub-Zero, Raiden, Predator, Jax, or Boraicho? So out of all those, I'm going in order. Sub-Zero, I'm currently making Sub-Zero videos. Raiden, no. Predator, yes. It's been a while since I played Predator. I want to play him again, especially Hunter. Jax, I don't think so. Maybe if I go for the Ragdoll Brutality. And Boraicho, I don't think so. So there you go. All right, now let's go balls deep on these questions here. Usually I just answer the most commonly asked questions that I get. So number one right here is, do I ever get bored of making videos? That's an interesting question right there. Because I feel like no matter how much you enjoy something, there's always a burnout phase that happens, right? And for me, I really enjoy just making videos. I don't get bored of actually making videos, but I do get bored of the games. And I will 100% admit that, especially since we've been spoiled over the last, I don't know, since I came into the scene since 2015 with a new NetherRealm game every 2 years. So it's kind of hard to get bored of the game when you play it for a full year, you get your DLC content, and then like a year and a half, the new game gets revealed, and then you're excited about that. So you're still like excited about playing the current one. So I never got bored until recently with MK11, because MK11 has been out for like 3 years already, and there is no announcement of a new NetherRealm game. So I don't get bored of actually making the videos because I enjoy doing the commentary. I enjoy like doing everything that consists of making the videos, but playing the games, I do get bored of them. Even playing MKX, I get bored of playing MKX as well, because I've been playing it since 2015. So yeah, I don't get bored of actually making the videos, but I get bored of the games. All right, moving on here. Perfect segue to something that is going to be a little bit different that I'm going to do in the future, at least for me. Are you going to play Elden Ring? Is a question that I've been getting asked a lot. And yes, I am going to be playing Elden Ring. I bought it on the Xbox Series X. I'll at least make one video on it. I've never played a From Software game before. And you guys know my brother. He plays them all the time on his channel. I'm not even going to ask him for any advice or anything at all. I just want to go into the game blind and see what happens. So yes, I am going to play Elden Ring. At least record one video when I get the chance. Probably this weekend. Next up here, this is a question that I've been getting asked for a long time, is when the hell am I gonna make a video in Espanol? For a lot of you guys who might not know, I am Latino. I was born in Honduras, and then I was actually born in Honduras, not just like people say, oh, I'm from here and then I was born in the US. No, I was born in Honduras, and we moved over here to Los Angeles when I was like 3 years old. Been raised in LA since, pretty much. So I know fluent Spanish, speak Spanish all the time with my mom, with friends and stuff like that. But the problem is, to create a video, you have to be quick on your feet, and you can't be stuttering all the time. Because if you say a joke and it takes you a while to deliver the punchline or something like that, it's not going to be funny. And if you're like stuttering all the time and trying to think of the perfect word to say, it just doesn't come across as like, it doesn't flow well. I have no problem doing that when I'm recording Mortal Kombat 11, MKX, whatever. When I'm playing online, I really don't have a problem doing that because I don't know, it just comes natural. But in Spanish, my vocabulary is not as wide as it is in English. Like, I know the basics of Spanish, obviously. I speak with my mom all the time. But as far as like coming up with funny shit, you know, I would be very conscious about what words I'm using, because I don't know a lot of like words in Spanish. I just know the basic stuff. So I would have to try it out and see how people react to it, and see if I could even carry a video in Spanish. If I could, that would be cool, because something that I always wanted to do was to create a channel that's only in Spanish. So pretty much do like my channel that I'm like what I'm doing here, create another channel that's only in Spanish. I always wanted to do that. I thought that would be really cool. But we'll see. We'll see whenever I do one. All right, so next couple of questions here are pretty much, they're the same questions, but for two different categories. So one is, what's your lowest and highest point in your YouTube career? And then pretty much the same thing, what's your lowest and highest point of your life so far? So I'm going to start off with the YouTube one. Let's start off with the high, obviously, reaching 1 million subscribers. I didn't even think that I would get 1,000 subscribers. And then once I hit that, I'm like, there's no way I'll ever get 10,000 subs, you know, hitting that 5-digit mark. That was like impossible. And then once I hit that, I really didn't think I would hit 100,000 subscribers. And then once I hit that, like, I didn't even think about 1 million. So actually getting 1 million subscribers is definitely the highlight of my YouTube career. It's something that I never thought was even possible. As far as the low point of my YouTube career, I can't really pinpoint a low point, because even when I was struggling getting views and all that, I was just happy to be uploading the videos. When I was getting like 10 views a video when I first started uploading, and 5 of those were mine, just refreshing the page, I was just happy being like a part of the Call of Duty scene and YouTube scene, and like trying to imitate some of my favorite content creators. So even at that point, you know, I've really just enjoyed the whole process. But I will give you guys this. When I lost the first Phase 5, FaZe was doing this recruitment challenge where they would get 100 people. I guess, isn't that the same thing they're doing right now? I think so. But it was more like Call of Duty, actually like clip focus and like montage focus and stuff like that, which was awesome, because that's what, you know, I like to do. And I made all the way to the top 20 back in 2013, and I was working on Man of Steel at the time, so, you know, I didn't make it into the first recruitment challenge, and I was very sad at that point. But I was like, all right, you know, their eyes are on my channel now, because I made it to the top 20. I'm uploading this Man of Steel montage. That shit is gonna get me into FaZe, and because I'm doing really well on the channel, have my own thing going as well. So I uploaded Man of Steel, and then, you know, weeks went by, months went by, and I see this guy joining FaZe, this guy joining FaZe, this guy joining FaZe, this guy joining FaZe, this guy joining FaZe. And I gotta tell you guys, man, I definitely learned something about myself. I learned that I used to be a jealous little bitch, because I would see people joining FaZe, and I'm like, man, I fucking deserve it. I deserve to make FaZe over that guy. Like, why are they choosing this person to join FaZe when, you know, I'm doing all this good stuff over here on my channel? And so whenever you're in competition with somebody, or, you know, you're doing your own thing, you kind of have tunnel vision, right? So, you know, the same thing that I was doing, these people are doing as well, right? Like, they were doing good, hitting clips and all that, but I really couldn't see that at the time, because I was so focused on myself, and I was being such a little bitch, being jealous of people. And I was like, man, I fucking hate this guy. How the hell did he make it into FaZe when I didn't, right? And ever since then, man, whenever something positive happens to somebody, even if they're in competition with me, I'm just happy for them, because being a jealous little bitch is not something that you want to be. Because then you start hating somebody for absolutely no reason other than your fucking insecurities and the fact that you're jealous of them. So it was a low point as far as like, man, I really worked hard to join FaZe and I never did. But it was also a high point because I learned not to be a jealous little bitch. So I guess it worked out in the end, because then I ended up quitting Call of Duty and pursuing Mortal Kombat, and here we are today. All right, so now let's talk about the low point and high points of my life so far. So, of course, I think we could all relate. Anyone who has lost anybody close to them, family member, close best friend via, pet or anything like that, that's always like the lowest point. So, in my opinion, my lowest points were number one is back in 2017, I lost my dad. He passed away. But the thing is, I didn't really have that close a relationship with him anymore because he was sort of spiraling out of control with drugs and, that kind of lifestyle. And I got a lot of my genetics from my dad. I have a lot of personality traits from my dad and all that. But I also have a lot from my mom. And one thing is I definitely learned from my mistakes and other people's mistakes. So I have never done drugs a day in my life. Never. The only thing I do like to party, I like to fucking, drink a little bit of alcohol here on the weekends and shit. But I had never done drugs in my life. And definitely learning from my dad's mistakes and seeing how much drugs fucked him up, that's definitely a contributing factor. And I will never do drugs. Like, fucking, it's destructive. Anyone who has dealt with somebody who has gone down that path, you know that it's just impossible. Almost impossible. I don't want to say impossible. Almost impossible to get through that person because they're just so consumed by the drugs and all that. And so my relationship with my dad definitely wasn't close anymore for like the last 5-6 years of his life. So it still hit me like a ton of bricks when my uncle called me up and he's like, your dad passed away. It was just a weird feeling, it's hard to explain to people how you feel when you get a news like that. It's just like it's like a pain, but it doesn't, I don't know. People say it feels like you got punched in the gut or something. To me, it didn't feel that way. It just felt like there was just something there at the top of my stomach. It was just there. And it was just like pain, but not like physical pain. It was just like, I don't know. I can't really explain it, but that's definitely one of the hardest things that I've dealt with because that's the first time that I lost a family member, especially my dad. So that's definitely one of the low points. The other one, obviously, you guys already know, me losing Princess. Not only that, but the months leading up to that, I'll explain a little bit real quick. But yeah, so Princess, it hurt more because I know it sounds strange for maybe somebody who has never had a pet that's like a best friend. To me, I consider Princess my daughter. She was with me for 12 years and she had epilepsy, so she couldn't be left alone because you never know. She could have an epileptic attack and then, pass away or like hit her head or something. I don't know, fall off the bed or something. So she was never left alone. So she was with us pretty much by my side for like 12 years. So she had cancer and the cancer had it had gone to her brain. And the cancer in her brain was making her epilepsy go crazy. So in the last day of her life, she was just having crazy seizures and she went blind. So there was literally nothing we could do anymore. So we had to put her down. And, actually being in the room when that happened, that's probably the hardest day of my life. That's the hardest day of my life for sure. Because, that was my princess, and having to be right there. Of course, I was going to be there no matter what. Like, I don't care how much it hurt. I was going to be there for Princess no matter what. But that was definitely the hardest day of my life, for sure. So, that's that. But it's not only that, man. So this happened November 28th of 2020. And then, we had December go by, right? But then at the start of January, I think just all the emotions and all the everything that happened with Princess and just... we got Cookie spayed because she was starting to grow, some little tumors on her nipples and all that. And thank God Cookie didn't end up having cancer or anything like that. But, there was just so much stress built up that it really hit my mom at once. So there was just like on January 5th, I remember she just got hit by like the worst fucking case of anxiety she's ever had. And it lasted for about 3 months. Where the anxiety just like really took over her life and you know, it did a number on her, and it did a number on my brother and I too. Like, I don't know how the fuck we made videos throughout those 3 months without a problem, because man, from November 28th of 2020 to like March of 2021, that was literally like the lowest point of my life, because it was like one thing after another. And you know, it was definitely a hard time for sure. So I'm glad we got through that, man. So any of you guys who are having a hard time right now and you think that it can't fucking get better, trust me, it's gonna get better. Everything's gonna be okay. Things are not gonna keep on being shitty if you're in a shitty situation right now. So just keep on fighting and keep on believing that things are gonna get better, because they are. Now my mom is doing good. You know, she's on medication and all that. Cookie's doing good, and it's been a little bit over a year since the princess has passed away. You know, I still think about her, but now I can look at pictures and videos and, you know, more so smile and remember the good times, because you're never gonna, you know, forget about any of that stuff. So just keep on fighting, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's gonna be okay. And as far as a high point of my life, it's gonna sound a little shallow or like vain, but when I got my downtown apartment with like the really nice view, I'm on the 40th floor. That was always like a dream for me. Ever since I went to Vegas and we stayed at the Cosmopolitan, and we had like a nice view of Vegas, I was like, man, I really want an apartment with a crazy ass view like this. And I ended up getting it, and I'm very happy with it. You know, it's I love the place. I have it all like pimped out to my liking. You know, I have my Joker posters. I have my little arcade cabinet. You know, I made it look the way I wanted to, and that's one of the highest points of my life. Just like signing the lease and getting that apartment. It's really cool. All right, so now let's move on here. This is a question that I get asked still, because I don't play this character in MK11. Why do you hate Jackie Briggs so much? I don't hate Jackie. I don't hate the character. I just hate playing versus Jackie. For you guys who might not have like played MK11 at the start of the game, Jackie was so much better. She was like broken. Like I can't think of any other character who's had a high as her, as far as being like the absolute best character in the game. Maybe Garrus for a time. Maybe Liu Kang for a time. But man, Jackie was just so broken and so annoying to fight against that early on in the game, I'm like, man, I am never playing Jackie again, because I find her so annoying to fight against. But if you talk to me about Jackie Briggs and MKX, whoo, man, I love Jackie Briggs and MKX. I feel that she's one of the top 5 most fun characters in the game, especially in Shotgun. She's exciting to play. Visually, she has a lot of cool stuff. Visually, I don't even think she has cool stuff in MK11, honestly. Maybe that's why I don't play her as well, because she's annoying and she's really good, but to me, she's not flashy. I mean, there's some combos with the uppercut that cannot replace the stanky leg and corner combos with her. Not even close. So you put Jackie Briggs in front of me in MKX, I will play her all day. Not in MK11, though. So I don't hate Jackie. I just find her so annoying that I decided never to play her again. All right, this last question here. This is one for people who follow me on Twitter and Instagram all the time, because I'm always sharing my colognes that I have, because I got into collecting men's fragrances, men's cologne, maybe like 6 months ago. I forgot what the hell. I forgot what was the first one that I bought. Man, I really don't remember what the first cologne was that I bought. Maybe it was Acqua di Show Profumo. And then I started getting to like Creed Aventus and all that. I have Creed Aventus. I feel like it's overrated. So pretty much the question is, what's your favorite cologne? And I like sweet cologne, so Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male is actually my favorite cologne. I feel like it smells absolutely amazing. My favorite cologne. There's this new one that I bought recently. called Hawas by Rasasi. It's an Arabian house, like perfume house, and it smells really, really fucking good. It smells like citrusy, fresh, really good. Look it up if you ever want to have, I don't know, the cologne is actually not that expensive, but it just smells really fucking good. It's one of my favorite ones that I bought recently. It's probably one of my favorite ones in my collection, just in general. But yeah, if you're gonna ask me like just to pick one, I'll probably pick Ultra Male, because I like sweet colognes, and that one is definitely fucking sweet, but it just smells really good. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching today's Q&A video. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you aren't subscribed already, make sure you guys do so. And if you want to see some more, there's videos popping up on the screen right now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.